Hi everyone. So as you'll see from my title, this is the answers to the consecutive numbers investigation. Now it's really important to note that I've put in bracket Miss Craig's here. And what I mean by that is your answers, so your way of working it out, may be slightly different to mine, and that's absolutely fine. As long as you're getting the correct answers each time, then yours is just as correct as mine is. This is just one way of doing it, so that's why I've written Miss Craig's. Okay, so I chose my 4 sets of consecutive numbers. So my first one was 3, 4, 5, 6. My second was 8, 9, 10, 11. My third was 15, 16, 17, 18. And my fourth was 21, 22, 23, 24. You would have had different ones to these, and it doesn't matter which consecutive numbers you used. So for the first one, when we're looking at adds, I had my answers as 18, 38, 66 and 90. And what I noticed was that these two here, when I added them together, so 4 plus 5 equals 9. Now my answer is 9 multiplied by 2. So actually I found that if I added these two columns together and multiplied them by 2, I would have my correct answer. So then I tested my theory for the next one. 9 plus 10 multiplied by 2. 9 plus 10 is 19. 19 multiplied by 2 is 38. 16 plus 17 multiplied by 2. So 16 plus 17 is going to be 33. Multiplied by 2 is 66, as I've got here. So my theory for this one is if you add these two, then multiply the number by 2, you'll get your answer. So for example, if somebody said to me, right, your consecutive numbers are, let's say 100, 101, 102, 103. If I add them together, what's my answer? And I'll say 203, 406. So let's test it. 100 plus 101 is 201. Plus 102 is 303. Plus 103 is 406. Now I've used quite easy ones there, but you could even use something like 4-digit numbers. So we've done our add. And just to show you with my little counters, if I have my numbers as 1, 2, 3 and 4, the way that it works is I can double these two, so that's 5, the 2 plus 3, because I can actually just take one from this last consecutive number and put it with my first one. Then I've got 2 sets of 2 and 2 sets of 3, which is why we can just do 5 multiplied by 2 gives me 10 altogether. So for the next one, we're looking at subtraction. So I kept the same numbers. But I had subtracting them this time. So I had minus 12, minus 22, minus 36 and minus 48. Now my first thought was, oh, they're all in the 12 times table. Maybe that's got something to do with it. And then I noticed minus 22, no, that's not in the 12 times table. So I started looking at my numbers and seeing if there were any patterns. And I found that this column here, if I multiply the number by minus 2, then I get my answer. 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. So 6 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 12. 11 multiplied by minus 2, minus 22. 18 multiplied by minus 2, minus 36. 24 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 48. So let's say I've got the numbers 56, 57, 58, 59. I can say the answer is going to be, so 2 times 59, it's going to be 118. So it's going to be minus 118. So let's test it. 56, take away 57 will give me minus 1. And then minus 1 minus another 58 will give me minus 59. Then minus 59 minus another 59 is minus 118. So if you've got 4 consecutive numbers with a subtraction sign between each of them, your answer is just that last consecutive number multiplied by minus 2. Let's take that top one off. Now you won't necessarily have done them in this order that I've done. That's absolutely fine. Just compare which ones to your answers. So then I had add, subtract. My answers were 6, 16. Automatically, when I saw that 6, I was thinking, okay, it's just going to be exactly the same as the last number. But then this one ruined that prediction. 6, 16, 30 and 42. I'll just make that a little bit lower. Okay, so in this one, where I had add, subtract, I looked at this first column. And if you look at these values, it's just double it. So 15 multiplied by 2 is 30. 21 multiplied by 2 is 42. So let's go for some numbers. Let's say 85 plus 86 plus 87. Take away 88. And I'm going to say the answer is 170. Can you see how quickly I was able to work that out? If I did this to anyone, they'd be thinking, whoa, Miss Craig, your maths is so fast. And all I've really done is double 85. So let's test out our theory. So 85 plus 86 will give me 171. 171 plus 87 is going to give me 258. Let's just check that. 7 plus 8 is going to give me 25, yeah. And then 258 take away 88 is going to give me 0. 25 take away 8 is going to give me 17. So 170. Tick. And then I had add, subtract, add. And my answers for add, subtract, add were 8, 18, 32 and 44. Oops. 8, 18, 32 and 44. So with this one, I looked at this column. Again, we've just multiplied these values by 2. So let's say I've got 17 plus 18, take away 19 plus 20. My answer is 36 because I've multiplied this by 2, just like I've done for each of these. Let's test it. 17 plus 18, so that's going to give me 35. So 17 plus 18. Take away 19, so that's going to give me 26. Plus 20, oh, that's not quite 36. And this is why I would always recommend doing your column addition or column subtraction. Because when you're doing it in your head, as much as a lot of us can do it quite quickly in our head, you can often make little mistakes. So let's test it. So 17 plus 18. 7 plus 8 is going to be 15, carry the 1, and that's 35. 35 take away 19 is going to give me 16, plus 20 is 36. So with that one, we just needed to multiply our second column, or our second consecutive number, by 2 to get the answer. Then for the next one, we've got add, subtract, subtract. So for add, subtract, subtract, my answers were a little bit different. -4, -4, -4, and -4. Now, I love this one because you could really quickly, if someone said to you, right, let's go for 963 plus 964, take away 965, take away 966, and they say, go on, work it out, and you go, -4. They're going to think it's incredible that you've worked that out so quickly, and they will more than likely use a calculator to check you're working out. And very similar to that one, so for add, subtract, subtract, your answer is going to always be -4. But if we have subtract, subtract, add, your answer is always going to be 0. So again, it's like a little magic trick where you can say to them, give me any 4 consecutive numbers. Subtract, subtract, add. Your answer is, let me have a little think about that. It's 0. And then the next one is another one. So we've got subtract, add, subtract. So subtract, add, subtract. Your answer is -2. It's always going to come out as -2. And then for the last one, where we've got subtract, add, add. My answers were 10, 20, 34, and 46. And quite similar to the earlier ones that we looked at, it's just this one multiplied by 2. This column multiplied by 2. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, 10 multiplied by 2 is 20, 17 multiplied by 2 is 34, and 23 multiplied by 2 is 46. So let's test it out. Let's go for some 3-digit numbers. 111, take away 112, plus 113, plus 114. And I'm predicting that it's going to be 113 multiplied by 2. So two lots of 113 is going to give me 226. That's what I predict the answer is going to be. But let's work it out. 111 take away 112 will leave me on -1. -1 plus 113 will then give me 112, plus 114 will give me 226. So I hope you got the ones that I got. If you got anything else, please feel free to message me on It's Learning. I would love to find out any other ones. These are just the ones that I found. As I said earlier, you're just as correct as I am if you found that the pattern works continuously for all of your answers. Fantastic work. Well done.